When you're taking edibles, how many milligrams gets you high? Do you need like 10 or 20 to get high, or do you take a couple hundred to get high? Or are you like me and you take over 1,000 just to make sure that it's gonna hit because you've had too many misses and you wanna make sure that hits? Like smoking, edibles hit everybody differently, and they hit you different every time you take them. There's a lot of factors that are involved. The edible that you're eating, when you ate it, what else you've eaten. Are you eating on a full stomach or an empty stomach? There's a lot of factors that go into the edible high, but some people, no matter what they do or how many milligrams they take, they just don't get high at all. Has that happened to you? Now, maybe you got a bad batch of edibles. Maybe it wasn't decarboxylated properly. Maybe none of the THC was activated and that's why it didn't get you high. But maybe it was made properly and you've tried several times over and over again, and no matter what you do, edibles just do not get you high. I've heard this from so many people on my Twitch streams. Hey, why don't edibles work on me? I get a lot of comments on my videos. Can you tell me why edibles don't work for me? And it really is true. Edibles just flat out don't work for some people. And it really doesn't have anything to do with tolerance or how much they smoke or any other factors than genetics. When you smoke weed, the smoke goes into your lungs and you absorb the THC into your bloodstream that way. When you eat the THC, it's broken down by your stomach and digested by your liver, and you actually convert delta-9 THC into something called 11-hydroxy-THC. That's what gives you that long-lasting, super edible high where you're going to be high for 4 to 6 hours or even longer in some cases. I've been high for over 12 hours. Well, there's an enzyme in your liver called cytochrome P450. Sometimes it's called CYP or CYP enzymes, but it's basically an enzyme in your liver, and that enzyme's a little different for everybody. Some people have a higher level of CYP enzymes, and some people just have more active CYP enzymes. Those are what's breaking down that delta-9 and converting it into the 11-hydroxy-THC. If that's not happening to you, you're not going to get that edible high. So for some people, this just flat out sucks. It's like no matter what you do, you can't get that edible high. And for many people, the edible high is like that next level. Smoking can only do so much, but if you want to be high all day and you want to get that next level of high, sometimes it's edibles that do it. Other things to think about are people with like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel syndrome. People with like gastrointestinal or GI issues might not feel the effects of edibles. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they just have a bad stomach and that the edibles just don't do anything for them. Sometimes it's genetic. Sometimes you just inherited the genes that don't get you edible high. There's not really anything you can do about it. You could try calling your mom and complaining to her and be like, hey, when I eat special brownies, they don't make me feel good. Or you could just do some smoking and dabbing. There's other ways to get high. Just cut your losses. I don't know. I do want to say if you're getting around smoking, things like tinctures or even THC drinks are maybe a good alternative for you. I've talked to some people who say no matter how many brownies and cookies they eat, it doesn't get them high. But if they have like a 100-milligram THC drink, they get nice and high off of that. But something to consider is like drinks and tinctures, they kick in a little bit quicker. They also don't last as long. You're not really going to get that 8 to 10 hour high. Some people say it's 4 to 6, but I swear, many times when I've taken edibles, I've been high for 8 hours, or I've been high the next day when I wake up a few hours into the day. It's really interesting to think about when you know or you understand that people have different levels of digestion. Not everybody's going to feel the effects at the same time, and not everybody's going to feel the effects for the same amount of time. Some people, edibles just kick in really quick because their stomach is just tearing through that and digesting it, ready for them to get high. But some people just have a slow metabolism in general. Maybe they don't work out a lot. Maybe factors in their diet cause them to digest slowly or more slowly than your average person. But it is something to consider or think about. I've had a few instances where the edibles didn't kick in after 2 or 3 hours, and they maybe kicked in after 4 or 6 hours. Sometimes it's hard to tell because while you're waiting that couple hours for it to kick in, you're smoking and dabbing and you're getting high, but you're like, is this the one that I'm waiting for, or is this the one that's just here right now? Either way, I figured I'd open up the curtain on that. Some people just wonder every day why edibles don't work for them, if there's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just you got some unfortunate genetics and now you can't get high off of cookies and brownies. But lucky for me, I still do get some type of high off of edibles, even though I have to take a lot. And tonight on my Twitch stream, I'm going to be taking 1,700 milligrams of THC. That's 1 milligram for every Amazon Prime genius that subscribed to my Twitch last month for free and gave me a little bit of that, you know what it is. So don't miss the sesh. Come get high with me tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to hear about my first time taking edibles, it was a really good experience, check out this video right here. I hope you have a lit day, my dudes.